Second here, I got to get my loop player in here. All right, there he is. It's showtime. Hey, good morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Let me take my loop player out for a second, and you are on pause. There we go. Hey, 7 seconds to go. Good morning to you. Let me just click the camera here if I can find that thing and say hello. And top of the morning to you. I'll find it in a minute. I promise I will. Let me get rid of this. And let me jump to a camera shot, which has disappeared on me right now. Isn't that amazing how that happens? There we are. Okay, had too many pieces hooked up here today, so I was trying to figure out just where I was. What is my name? I'm Michael usually, but the grandkids call me Roo. And just so we know where we're going with this, they call me Roo because my last name is Hahn. It means rooster in German. The English spelling of that is H-A-U-N. It means fowl or bear or something else anyway. Who knows? My uncle always said it means rooster, and so I stayed with that. You know how storytelling is, right? They call me Roo. I doodle on everything. I doodle on back of envelopes, book covers, journals. Oh my gosh, in fact, I'm going to show you a picture of the journals here this morning in just a second. I thought, I should give you just a little bit of view behind the scenes. Let me say good morning to some of you, and then I'll do just that. Got on 2 pairs of glasses today. One pair is just to hold back my hair, right? When you cut your hair, it just does everything. Here we go. So let me say hello. John Robert Small jumped on first again this morning. Thank you, sir. Belinda, welcome. Judy, Delp, Terry Tardy, happy 96. Let's do that right now. It's day 96. Holy smokes. I'm going to put that up here, okay? I'm just going to do a little 96 right there, and I'm going to put the mark right there, and I'll do my last 5 right there because where we're heading is to 100. I've been, let's see if I can get a little picture going here just for a second. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to do the drawing just right up here. Okay, right here. Okay, that's going to be where I made my mark for day 96, and then I'll do the other till we get to 100. That's my bee I've been keeping up with. I was so afraid that I was going to lose this bee during the show. I mean, I wasn't afraid, for heaven's sakes. I used the wrong word there. Like, I'm afraid of a bee. But I actually had painted another bee. Here he is right here, heading to 100. There he is. And that bee started me painting all the little bees that I did. And oh my gosh, you guys love those. Thank you so much. They were tiny little 3x3 on my business cards. And I did them just with watercolor pencils. And can we say they flew out the door? That's kind of fun. Huh? Anyway, so thank you very much. Let me say hi to a few more people here just as we get rolling into this. So Terry Tardy, 96. I know you're going on a hike and you'll miss a couple shows. But you know what? Man, you've been here for the duration, and you're with me back in January. We were in Orlando with 5,000 other close friends, and it was when we could actually hang out in a group. And I hadn't even thought of painting online this much. I used to just come on once a month and do something silly. And so, Skeeter, you came back. Chinoa, nice to see you. Jody, welcome aboard. Patricia, I do have a package coming to you, but I also have, that's not all. I also have a card that you sent me that I'm going to hold on to for my 100th show. I thought it was kind of fun. So good morning, Alex from the West Coast. Hey, Alex, I thought of you Alex, yesterday I was talking about your book, and I was talking about, man, I know you've done a book on paintings. Well, guess what? I'll flip through it today. Look at this. It showed, oh wait, here we go. It showed up, Signs of Santa Monica. Yesterday, about 2:30, I get a little note, and I love the painting in the front cover, man. Great job. Way to go. Way to put a painting in the cover. I love it. So welcome. Thank you for sending me that. I flipped through it already a little bit, and some of those old signs and the history that you have there, fabulous. I can't wait to read more of that. Alice Jordan, good morning to you in Knoxville. Andrea Monroe, welcome from Delaware, rainy Delaware. I could use a little cool rain right now here. Lisa Haymaker, Lisa, I have a painting on my desk for you, and then I have another one that I'm trying to finish for you, and it's a Rube Goldberg coffee thing, and I'm just behind on all commissions. It happens when you're trying to work and do what you do, and then do this fun thing that I've been doing with you guys for 96 days also. Kim Sheets, if you hear a voice within you say you cannot paint, then by all means paint. That voice will be silenced. Vincent said that, huh? There you go. Vincent said a lot of things. I hear. I actually have walked right by where he painted in his apartment on the way to Montmartre. Yes, and I've been in Montmartre in France, where you go up the hill and watch the artists set up in the mornings. Oh, it's so fun, so fun, so fun. I'm a spoiled man, but I'm not that wealthy man. I flew there for $347. That's round trip. If it had been just one way, I wouldn't have been here now. Oh, having a little delicious hot tea, and I can't wait. As soon as the show's over today, I was talking about those donuts yesterday. My wife made a 5-pound cake. And I know you just call them pound cakes, but when I saw what everything went in there, that thing weighs about 5 pounds. Okay, Schnitzer, good morning, man. I hope you're back on the East Coast, and I look forward to catching up with you, buddy. I appreciate you. David Schnitzer, his boy's been out west for a while, and they are some creative outdoors people. I do a lot of work with him and have in the past, and have prayed for him this summer just because I do a lot of consulting with private camps. And actually have helped build, I didn't help build it, but I sort of designed from the get-go. I guess I was part of that. The art barn, and then it turned into the blacksmith shop. And for the last couple of years, been going over and training their summer blacksmiths. Wow, it's a fun thing. High school kids make things with their hands, and then they come out of there. And I thought I was going to show you something that they make, but I don't know where it is. There's probably something up here somewhere on my desk. Everything's on my desk. In fact, I'll just show you that. Let me say a few good mornings. Carol Burke, welcome to here. Mary Jones, welcome to you. Janet Kelly, Trish Brown, saw you yesterday, and thanks again for your note. Philip Wilbarger, good morning to you, man. Haven't seen your name. If I've missed you, I'm sorry. These things come by really fast on the scroller. So if I'm not looking over, if I'm trying to paint, that's kind of what happens. So Yvonne Riccio, thank you. Glad you're painting. Jackie Wallace, Ruth Ann Godey, goodness, Deborah. KK, good morning from Australia. And KK, that's a new name to me. If you've just jumped aboard, I hope you love art. I hope you like storytelling, because my art really is just an excuse to get into story. Nice glasses. Which ones? My blue ones or my brown ones or my other clear ones on the bottom? I don't know. A man with 2 watches doesn't know what time it is, and a man with this many glasses can't see the day. Day 96, woohoo! Randall Taylor, thank you. Debbie, Vim Lim. Vive Lim, thank you. And your name is hard for me to say, so forgive me when I butcher your names. Miss Carla, glad you're here. Elizabeth Sable, welcome from South Florida. Can't go too far south because your hat will float. And it's good evening from Australia. Yeah, that's right. So thank you for being up late watching. Hardy and Diane and Maria Guerrero, Viveka. Wow. Everybody's jumping on here. I love it here. I'm going to come back and say hi to some of you in a second. Let me get to painting, but first, before I do that, I got a question to ask you. And then, what does art do? What does art do? What does art do? Crystal, I know you're into art. Rose, you're into art. Suzanne from DeBerry, Texas. Cindy, Florentino, Lady Di. Don't you love it? I love you came up with that. If Florentino is your real name, would that be fantastic? Just change it. Teresa McBee Vento, good morning. Attempted to paint a roof for my grandson that loves chickens, and he loved it. That's one of the things that art does right there, okay? What does art do? You want to give me a little clue? What does art do? Hey, while you're doing that, and I'm just rolling all over something down here on the ground. Oh, yeah, it's a sketch. Oh, well. I did it once. I'll do it again. All right, let's go here. What does art do? It lightens the heart. Lightens the heart. Let's see. Wow, it does lighten the heart. You know what? It It's therapy. It lightens the heart. These are great questions. You know, sometimes you will mess around with art and you'll go to galleries and you don't know why you're going, and you think you do, but you really just stand there and you take it all in. I'll never forget the first time my wife took me to a an art gallery in Washington D.C. And I had never been to an art gallery before. Okay, grew up in East Tennessee. Art to me was trying to not get your hands to itch when you were breaking off okra. Okay, that's you got to be artful to do that. And so it makes people happy. Art literally takes my mind away from my problems. It's the voice of the soul. Whoa, you communicate emotions. It's a calming effect. Art keeps me sane. Hey, do you realize that every one of these is a reason why you get up and you go find pencils and paper? I love good paper. I love good pens. I like my music loud most of the time, even if it's a lute player. Okay, I have a mandolin, and it has eight strings, and a lute sometimes will have 8 or 16 strings doubled, and they're amazing. But a good 8-string lute has that weird Renaissance sound. I kind of like that. As a blacksmith, you kind of like that. Changing the vocabulary. No more yella. It's all gamboge. Wouldn't you love that? Yeah, I'm going to come out with my own Roo colors. They're going to be Rogue's Monk yellow, Rooster Comb red, French Hen blue, Neil Mallory ugly brown. Maybe we'll throw some of you folks in there too for your names. Honestly, I'll jump into that. I got to show you a picture, and then I got to start painting. Okay, so here we go. Thanks for. Here's the thing, art does all those things, and it really does connect people. And so for me, it's my vehicle to tell stories. It's my vehicle to connect with people. It's my vehicle that there is some sanity in that. So Carol takes me to this thing, and I go, I don't want to go in and see any big paintings. And I stayed outside the first museum, didn't even go in. How childish and how immature and just uneducated. I had no idea. And then one day I realized this is unbelievable, and I got hooked. Here, I got to show you a couple things. Let's see if this will come up here. It's asking me to connect to a camera, so I'm going to connect for you just for a second here and see if it'll come up. See if my journal camera will come up. Oh yeah, there it is right there. Okay, see that? I got a split screen. I've got a camera here that I want to just show you something. I want to show you behind the scenes a little bit. As a matter of fact, I said journals. Take a look right there. There is there's an Apple box. I'm always talking about Apple boxes. Let me focus this camera. This is a big old honking DSLR camera, but I got it tied in. This is an Apple box, and inside that Apple box goes back to 1990. No, it doesn't. It actually goes back. Those two that are really over on the edge, see where the little cord's hanging down? Those two right there that look like they have a yellowed edge, those go back to 1973, and they're just with handwritten poems in them. And then when you go back over here on the bottom, where those hard drives are, those starting in what you see is your left hand going across, maybe, I don't know, so maybe reverse for you. All those are blue line journals that just have ideas of when I was writing and producing some things. The upper part are all moleskin. And so I don't know, there's 65 in there maybe over the years of just journals that I've doodled in. So I've been doodling for a long time. Hey, here's a little look behind the scenes. No kidding. Let me just show you, see if I can get this camera to pull out just a little bit. Look at this. You know, it all looks like a clean camera. I got a camera there. I got a camera coming down on my desk in front of where I'm pointing down here now. Let me see if I can focus a little bit. I know this is driving you crazy, so hold on to. Here's my paint. There's my brushes all here. There's another desk across the room. There's a board over there. There's a couple banjos hanging on the wall. This is behind the scenes. There's a camera that you're seeing my face with right now. It's a big camera coming across the desk. There's the journals I just showed you. There's all my glasses. Alex, there's your book. Who do you say that I am? There's my microphone. I go into my computer. This drives the show right here. And then that's everything. So I've got lights set up. There's a big light right here. See this? Wow. So there's a softbox light there, and this is a 200-year-old barley leg table that's down here. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this camera because it's driving us both crazy. And let me just go to this shot right here. All right, I'll throw that on the floor. Well, I won't throw it on the floor because that is one nice camera. I hooked it up this morning just so I was trying to get a focus point on it, and I thought, oh, that's a kind of a cool shot. I should show that. So here we go. Got to get busy. Been talking a lot this morning. Day 96, and I laid out a couple paintings, and you think I probably, and I cut some paper just for fun. I just grabbed a few pieces of paper this morning, and this is 140 pound. This is the paper that I use, Arteza paper. It's not very expensive. In fact, and I like it. It's very durable. It has one side that's very slick. It has another side. What Canon is that? That's a big old Canon. That's what it is. All my cameras are Canons, and you know what? It's not that I'm against Sony or Nikon or any other cameras. I just had lots of Canon lenses when I started, and so I started with Canon, and I liked how Canon made a jump years ago to do some things video wise, and so I shoot video now, but I shoot it most all on DSLRs. If I were buying a camera right now and I wanted to carry it with me every day, I'd probably up my phone to an iPhone 11 and just be real happy. But I can't really carry that in and do professional work with it. So I shoot with a lot of Canon DSLR high ends, and so that's what I do. So you're not going to go wrong even if you go with some of the mirrorless cameras today. Good grief! So buy what your budget can handle. All right. If you're doing what I'm doing, Canons hook up really well to Macs through some software, whereas if you're hooking up Nikons through software, you're going to have to use black boxes and magic. You're just going to have to spend a little more money. That's not totally true. Well, it is true on Nikon. There's changed it some on the Sony. Okay, well, look at this. I'm just going to paint something really that's on my brain this morning to do, just a painting that I've done in the past. Here we go. I've got a number 5 Pentel Intergel pen, and I'm thinking I'm just going to start with the bottom of a coffee cup. Let it come down like this. It's twisted off center just a little bit. Maybe the handle's going to be going this direction, coming back in. It's a big old mug. It's coming around like this. And then see, art needs to do something. It needs to communicate a story. It needs to connect people. It needs to make you smile. It needs to create a memory. It needs to recollect a memory. Okay, so that's kind of what art does when I think about what art does, and that's just my style. You're gonna have to decide what your style is. You know what this looks like? Actually, Miss Carla, this looks like a duck. There for a minute, you thought I was doing a duck, didn't you? I mean, you're going like, oh my gosh, is he painting a duck? And thank you, Denise, for always starting your day with my with sessions. And you're saying that art, no rules. Yeah, you know what? I mean, why would you put rules on something that's supposed to be inspiring? That's like saying, oh, you really can't write a poem with a double negative. Ain't no way nobody's going to read that. And you should say, no, I might. I grew up in East Tennessee, and I could say aunt if I want to. I don't say aunt. I say aunt, but I say aunt as the buck, and I say ain't going to matter anymore. And so, but I realize it's a slang term, but you know what? That works in stories and films and dialogue. And I worked with a guy one time who had a marketing company, and he had hired in his marketing company a script writer, a screenwriter. And so he brought the guy in. And all I'm doing here is taking my paint, not paint, but paint, and I'm spraying a little bit of, just mixing them with a little clear water out of this spray bottle. These are just little Holbein spray bottles. Yes, I got them at Cheap Joe's because I happen to be in there, and I like them. So I keep 3 or 4 on every desk. There's just 2 up here right now, and I just spray a little water out of this. Here's all this does for me. It softens up these colors, so I don't have to just go dragging water back and forth. By that time, I've drug it through my tea. I've done something else. I've spilled water all over the place. So I'm just moistening those colors. Keep a little spray bottle for that. For 96 days, I've really reached over to this old standard brush right here. The old standard, the old bamboo, probably a 0 or number 1 bamboo brush. And so this morning, just for fun, I'm just going to reach over and I'm going to get a number 6, no, number 4, a number 4 watercolor brush. There we go. Just to be different today. So no rules. Ain't going to paint no more. So is it Tamberly? Thank you. Michelle says art creates feelings that words can't describe. Wow. And then yet sometimes we tie in the words and we put it together. And so that's just the whole point. I'm so glad that you guys are understanding. Um, and I know you understand it more than me because you got to realize I came at this backwards. I didn't come at this through art school. I didn't come at this through being an art student in school. I didn't even have art classes in high school. In fact, I only went to high school to play ball um, and run track. I was a decathlete for a while, and so in high school I was a runner, and so I didn't understand what some of you have understood. My wife had these great art classes, and she'd come and tell me about them even before, and we were just friends in high school, and I would help her. Even in college, I helped do some of her artwork, and I'd weld things together, and I was a guy who was always building stuff, and I was building Rube Goldberg stuff before I knew there was a Rube Goldberg, and so for me, that's just been really kind of fun. So for me, just to sketch things like this and doodle, this is where ideas come from right here. Man, this is hard work too. See how I'm having to go back and back to my water well using this little number 4 brush. And if I had this brush right here, man, it's like a mop. It's like a mop on a gym floor. You just go, we're going to leave some watermarks, okay? So, Snitzer, man, when you go mop that kitchen, you got to get yourself some big old mops, okay, buddy? Hey, the kitchen's shut down, man. My friends who are camping right now they're doing what everybody else is doing. You know what you're doing? You're recreating yourself a little bit. You have to. This has been somewhat of a recreation for me. I got into this thinking that 20 or 30 people were going to show up and we were going to talk. Right now, there's well over 100 of you watching. Um, Carbonated. Art and laughter is the Holy Spirit carbonated. There is something that you're all getting that it gets into the soul. We're woven through music and style and art and what we see. So we'll have to do a painting about. I'll have to do another painting about this. Is that Manette Behrens? Hello from the beach. Wow. Blessings to my friends, my South African friends, who turned me on to rooibos tea. Whoa! It's a naturally. First time I had rooibos, man, I said, wait a minute. What are you putting in the teapot, man? It looks like you just got it out of the wood chipper. So it's just the whole bush is sort of ground up. It's like twigs and nuts and berries, and I loved it. I loved it, and I got my kids hooked on it. They still drink rooibos today. Good for you and good for what ails you. So I hope you're having fun at the beach. Neil Mallory, appreciate it, buddy. I've been talking bad about you already. I'm going to name a color after you. It's the Neil Mallory Ugly Brown paint. Not because you probably paint ugly brown, Neil, because you accused me of you calling it that one day, which I did. Okay. All right. So, but hello to you, Beverly Edwards. Hello to you, Cheryl Ann Coate Wallace. I like using all 4 of your names. Virginia McClure. You've never heard of that tea? Carol Todd Mundy? Rooibos? Oh, if you want naturally, hey, look, I think it's the only tea in the world. Check the facts here because I'm not going to. Why would I do that? But I think you're going to find that it's probably the only naturally decaffeinated tea in the entire world. The entire world. And let me tell you how I said that and why I said that, okay? I've been to the tea plantation in the U.S., but you go to other tea plantations, all the tea really comes from all plants. Oolong, black tea, green tea, white tea, it all comes from the same plant. It's just how long it dries and cures after it's been cut. They just cut off the new leaves. Yeah, you got to know stuff like this as a storyteller. But here's the thing. They have to actually take the caffeine out of the tea to make it decaffeinated, and they sort of kill everything in the tea when they do that. So you're really getting just flavored chemical water. All right, now I understand some of you can't have caffeine. This is as bold as it comes. Drink it day or night or light or dark. This is dark roast. This is Thai food that keeps me from drinking Builders when I can't get it shipped over from Britain always. There's a tea party going on, and people throw it in the ocean. Anyway, Not really, but rooibos is a natural tea that comes from South Africa, and I'm going to think, and the barons will correct me on this, but I'm pretty sure that it's what the Bushmen all drink, and they actually would use this bush, the red bush, the rooibos, Rooibo. I think it's Rooiboos, or maybe I put too many R's in it, but look it up. It's Rooibos. There you go. Chinoa's already looked it up. See? There we go. All right, so this is a little Roo here, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these. I'm going to do 2 or 3 paintings for you this morning because the time is just ripping through, man. I'm telling you. And it's because I'm talking on day 96, but you guys have hung it out with me for this long. I showed you behind the scenes, and plus I got to go get a piece of pound cake, and I'm going to read this today. Signs of Santa Monica. Alex, man, good job. This is a nice book, by the way, and I love your little drawing in the corner. I'm just going to show you a little tip. He did a little peep with a cuppa, C-U-P-P-A. And Alex has been joining our show early on, and I've known Alex from a connection with the ministry many years ago, and he and I have really never spent hardly any time together. We may have passed one time or two, but I've known his name for years as a musician and I know he's out there doing some I think production work and directing and all sorts of things. But I love these old signs. He just went through and took his camera, and I love this one, man. Bowl, Santa Monica, upscale bowling. Kind of sounds like an oxymoron, but how many bowling alleys have chandeliers? Hey, bowling has come back. Unfortunately, right now, you can't go in and do that, and because well, they can't keep the lanes clean, and they can't keep COVID off of the bowling balls, and it's just a mess. I tell you what, maybe someday. Anyway, Alex, I like the book. I was just talking about that yesterday on the show. No kidding. And at 2 o'clock, I think 2:30 in the afternoon, I get this note that says package has been left at your door, and I go like, what? I went out and looked. I wasn't expecting anything, and lo and behold, there was the book lying there. So unannounced, thank you so much. It's called Signs of Santa Monica. Signs of Santa Monica. So if you're a California person, if you're a Santa Monica person, if you're a person that just likes historical document things like this, of like what's going on, the sport fishing pier, all that stuff, I really do. I like what I've seen so far. And I've only had about 15 minutes with it yesterday to just pull through a little bit. Okay, so there we go. So there's my first painting this morning. Just what's it going to say? That's the part. Can it connect? Maybe I was just a tad gruff. All right. Whether anybody else laughs or not, there's those days you just start off and you go, maybe I just started off a tad gruff. Maybe I did. So there's a little painting for them. There it is. Okay. Oh, wait, you asked me if I was going to splatter. I just did splatter. Man, you people are, you watch a show for 90 something days and then you go like, let's tell the artist what to do. All right. There it is right there. Maybe I was just a tad rough. I like that mug just tucked down over his head with a little coffee. Here's the one thing I would do. I'd go in here probably, just pick up some of this right here and maybe put it down here so it's spilled around his feet just a little bit like that right there. Yeah. Maybe a little more coffee spill coming down there. All right. There it is right there. Okay. All right. So there we go. A little more coffee dripping down. Coffee on this. I've probably got to come in and do a little more veining in here. Because I'm such a detailed person. Oh my gosh, you got to have the details. I mean, put some lines in the coffee cup. You know what I put on the cup right here? I put a logo on there. You're going to think I put my initial, but some of the best diner cups were made by a company called M. That's right. See there? Learn something new every day. Ha ha! There it is. All right, let me do another one here just for fun this morning. Here's another little piece. I'm going to do this one on... I did that one on 140 cold press. I'm going to turn this paper over, and it's a little more smooth on the back. Not what I'd call a complete hot press paper, but it's very versatile. And that's why I recommend, if you're just getting into this, don't spend $30 for a watercolor block that's just high end paper, and then just start going like, I don't like it. Don't do that. Just buy some paper that's mid-range. And I got this one for the show, just simply, but I really do like it. I'm impressed with its quality. It's good. And one side is 140-pound, kind of cold press. The other side is not completely hot, but it's a smoother, and it holds up really well. I'm on the smoother side right now, and so I'm thinking I'm going to take a pencil, not a very sharp one, but I've got one here. I don't have a pencil sharpener up here. Uh, okay, so I do have this though, my everyday carry. So let me just. You never sharpen a knife like this with a no. You never sharpen a pencil like this with a knife. You never do this. You always turn it to yourself, and you just take it down like this with little pieces. That's how you do it right there. See that? Look at that. I used to do that in school, and now if I tried to do that in school, I would be in jail in about 3.5 minutes because I had a knife in my pocket. Oh my gosh, the crazy world we live in. All right, so here we go. So I'm thinking that we were talking about galleries, right? So let me draw a frame here. Let me just draw a big frame here. All right, so I don't do much sketching with pencils, as you can tell, but I kind of like this, just a big frame, and I like frames that are sort of, kind of fancy on the corners. They've got I really don't like those frames, but in galleries, it's almost like the guy who framed the work thought the work was so grand that he tried to make his frame more grandiose to show up the painting. Have you ever noticed that? You notice that's really interesting. I've always been fascinated by that. You go in and you go, oh my gosh, look at this great work of art. It's by Rubens, and it's just these two. This is all this hunt and all the pheasants in the farm, and then the frame is this thick and wide. And anyway, so I'm thinking that this painting is going to start with this flying saucer right here in the middle of it. You're going like, what the heck is he talking about? Okay, but I think what it's going to be is an egg. All right, I don't know why I'm using a pencil. I can do this with a pen. All right, here we go. Here's my frame going across. I'm not even going to put a ruler to this, People say, I can paint, but I can't even draw a straight line. You go, like, you're in great company. Who needs a straight line, for heaven's sakes? You don't need straight lines. You don't need, sometimes I wonder if we need state lines. Just go driving around America wherever you want, man. I can't wait to see my grandkids. They've been out west for the last 3 weeks, and they have been in God's country for real. I mean, Lake Tahoe and El Capitan. Come on, are you kidding me? Snitzer, you've been out there, man. You've been in one of my favorite cities, Telluride. Woohoo! What a city that is. All right, so take a look at this. Look at what I'm doing here. Yeah, you're going to know what this is, those of you who appreciate having farm fresh eggs. All right, look at that. There's one right there. I maybe have an eraser here somewhere on the deck. I get crazy questions. People who say, what kind of erasers do you use? And I go, well, I don't even use many pencils. But when I do, this is it right here. Bing! General's Tri-Tip. Here's why. I got big old hands, and I like having something I can hold on to. And I don't like those little hard pink erasers. And they're actually called the Pink Lady. It has nothing to do with men, women, or anything else. It's just straight, and the end gets a little wobbly. This is kind of bold, and unlike how I sketch with a pencil very lightly, I tend to erase boldly. Okay? And there we go. Now I've got eraser dust all over the place. It's about 1 inch thick at my art bar, and I got to take the art bar apart. So be warned, I'm taking the art bar apart tomorrow. Got a big mailing group going out today at the post office. I haven't been going to the post office as often because it's just a nightmare. And you have to stand there with a mask on for about, 45 minutes and have all these things weighed and stamped and posted. And when I go in with 25 pieces, so today is a big load that I'm taking in. So if you're missing something, you haven't received it yet, don't panic. It's on the way soon. Except for yours, Lisa Haymaker, I have something else to paint. KK says, why the love for roosters? KK, that's awesome. Thank you from in the afternoon, evening of Australia. Because my name is Han, H-A-U-N, or H-A-H-N is the German spelling. It means rooster or fowl or proud rooster. So my grandkids call me Roo. And I just started painting roosters. I painted a crab in Washington, D.C. My wife said, that's good. That was in 2005. Didn't paint after that. I painted in 2006. I was doodling, and I did a shrimp. I did this little shrimp one day in in St. Augustine. We were down there just kind of visiting with some people, and I just started doodling this little shrimp out. And she said, "Oh my gosh, that's really good." And I said, "Whoa, that's two pieces of art that you said are good, and you were the artist in the family." And she said, "You should paint our namesake." And I'm like, yeah, "Can you help me out here a little bit? I'm not connected with you." She said, "No, it's Han. You should paint roosters." And I went, "Oh my gosh!" And so then I set about painting roosters, and so they became fun. And this is one of my paintings that I do a lot with shrimp. So in Australia, KK, I don't know if you have grits. I don't know what you call it there. Here it's ground corn. It's real fine. It's not hominy. No. Hominy is when people in the South sing in unison and then they go up a third. Hominy. That's nasty little corn things. Hominy. Grits are ground up corn that you cook with cream and butter. And people eat with salt and pepper, but I eat with sugar and butter because I grew up thinking that was breakfast. But people have shrimp and grits. This is one of the paintings that I do. This is a bad tattoo, right there. And I've got a poem written about this. This is going to be in my book, Odes from the Ocean, Rhymes from the Rivers. And so there it is, KK. There it is. Hi, this pen doesn't bleed, and the watercolor doesn't get muddy with that pen. Lindsay, it can, but I'm not using enough of it to make it muddy. Okay, so you got to learn everything in moderation, my dear. Okay, so all right, here we go. Let's see. I'll finish this up just a little bit. I want what was I doing? Does anybody remember? Oh yeah, I had a pen. That's a 5 right there. Okay, so I think this is a gallery. Don't you just love art galleries? So I think these two peeps are having a conversation about this painting right here. So these are the little sketches that I do that it's not a paintbrush. He's the pointer. So he's the, would you call him the curator maybe, or the, I don't know what you would call that person. What is that person? My dear friend calls me and says, "Hey, our art gallery needs more of your work." And I'm going like, "Oh, really? Wow, thank you." What? And I forget what she's called, but she's sort of a curator. She'll find the work and she'll bring the work in. Maybe there's a little safety chain hanging behind these guys. They don't want you to touch the art, so it's there like that. It's on the wall. Wall has some marks on it. Okay, so there we go. All right, shrimp and grits. All right, here we go. Yeah, grits is it feels like a form of cream of wheat, but think it's not. It's made out of corn. And all right, so I'm thinking this egg should be a homegrown egg, don't you? And you know what I love about homegrown eggs, right? They have got some serious orange in them and yellow. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that in there. Let you see it like that. It's going to give it a little bit of life. Notice what I did. I didn't paint it like I was coloring. I left a little bit of those lights and whites in there. Do you see that? Okay. I'm just going to put a little bit of gray in this here just to show the background a little bit and make the egg pop out. This is that same gray that I used for that coffee mug. I love that gray, and maybe that's why I'm hooked on that gray. Take a look. This is pretty close as you can get as painting a diner mug. I just found myself in my mug. See, I'm fascinated by little childlike things, and I think that's one reason that I love watercolor painting so much, and I love it as a storytelling form. If I were sitting with your grandkids right now, or your kids, wait, I'm sitting with you guys, and I were telling you this story, you'd be going like, where's his brain going with this story? And that's the fascinating thing by art. It needs to connect us to each other. That's why I'm asking you to send texts and notes to friends and keeping them up to date and tell them how you're doing. And you know what? Don't call them if you're just going to tell them bad stuff. They can get that by watching the news. The news, you just come on and say, here's the bad things that happened today. You're going like, I'm not watching that. Take your brush outside and take a piece of paper and paint anything except squirrels. They're so dang hard to paint, and they're all gray. That's not true. I got black squirrels in my yard. Man, they are funny. They have a blast. All right, here we go. This is a real simple painting. Look at it. Look at it. There's not a whole lot of color in this. It's just Gamboge yellow. Here's my little peeps down here. I paint with some holidays. Watch, I'm going to paint this one a little differently right here. Saw me paint that one, right? Watch this. This one, I'm just going to go in here and I'm just going to put some water in there with this bamboo brush. Then I'm going to go jump into this paint. I'm going to touch it. Man, my lute player sounds like he traded in his lute for a banjo. Yeah, Alex, by the way, I see you've been painting postcards and mailing them to friends and family, freaking them out. Oh my gosh, you know what? And the paper that you had, the paper that you purchased inside the book, you sent me a postcard. That's good paper, man. Way to go. And I like your touch. I like the fact that you left some white spots. And so here's the fun thing about that. When you receive, and by the way, folks, I've been receiving some art from you guys, and is it the best art I've ever seen? Is my art the best art I've ever seen? No, I don't even rate on the fine art scale. That's not important. To receive something with a stamp on it and get it, it does your heart good. It is medicine for the soul. It is so awesome. So thank you for being a part of this art thing for 96 days. Oh my gosh. Okay. I had so many paintings I was going to do today, but this is taking me a long time to do a couple of them. Have you noticed? All right. All right. So where's my pen right here? I'm just going to create some shadow at the bottom of this. Watch this pen. This is an ultrafine flare. I'm just going to go in like this and just do some marks across the bottom. There it is right there. And then I'm going to take and just hash mark it like this. Maybe this floor is just going out this way like this. There you go. Look at that. Okay, did a little perspective there just in the flooring. Grab my bamboo brush. Hear that? Clean water. Touch it on the paper towel just a little bit. My new Bounty towels. Thank you, Crystal. What more could you do to please an artist than send him a roll of paper towels during COVID? Okay, maybe toilet paper, but I've had plenty of that. So okay, here we go. And I do know people who use, in fact, I think Cheap Joe does. I think he uses, for a blotter, he takes a roll of toilet paper and crushes it down, and then he rolls it up into some paper towels, and it makes a big soft blotter for him. But that dude, sometimes when he puts water on a page, I mean, he lays it down like with a, one of those things called pressure washer. All right. Maybe just a little more yellow in here, and then maybe just a little bit of this same color coming down for the legs. I like that right there. Here's what I wanted to put right in here. Look at this. I loved going into the galleries and seeing how their creative team put the little labels on the wall. That always cracks me up. No pun intended there with the egg. It was not an egg joke, I promise. It was not. It just wasn't. Okay. All right. So, do I have a caption for this? I think I do. And it's I painted a painting like this once before. In fact, I've painted just about everything that I've done before somewhere, or some idea comes through my head. But I'm thinking that there's the caption right there. If you wanted a landscape, you should have stayed outside. Um, and you know what I would do to really make this tie in for all my stuffy art friends. And I have some stuffy art friends. I love them. In fact, I have some wonderful fine art friends. I mean, who are talented. Oh my gosh! And so, in fact, we have some original art in our home by a marvelous artist, and we love her work so much. Carol Bomer. It's biblical narrative, and she is just brilliant. Carol Bomer, Bomer, out of Asheville, North Carolina. Dear friend. My wife actually painted watercolor with her back in the 80s in Asheville, North Carolina. We lived there for a while, and All right, so there we go. So there's probably missing something here. I'm probably missing a little. Nah, I don't worry about it. Okay, I'm gonna go do something else. I was gonna put a light in there, but we don't need it. If you went to landscape, you should have stayed outside. This could be called Baroque, a Baroque period. We're listening to some lute, so there you go. So there's a little Baroque painting. So what did I paint? Oh, I painted this one that says maybe I was just a tad gruff, and this is Baroque. So today I just felt like doing some goofy ones, and I'm going to finish the show today with one of my favorite paintings. And people are asking for it again. Somebody wanted one, so I'll just do it on the show here. And I think I'm not even going to use a pencil. I'm just going to use. I'm going to go bold here. Do I have a 7 on the deck? Yeah, this is a Pentel needle tip 7. They're in the Louvre, copying the masters. Ooh, Ovid. I should have painted that when I was up in Ovid, New York. Love this painting. Sunny side up, looks amazing. I haven't turned the TV on except for movies. There you go. How many paintings do you do in a day? Shandlin wants to know. Sometimes on this show I will do 4, and sometimes I'll come back in the afternoons if I get all my other work done. Or sometimes instead of turning the TV on, I'll go back and I'll do 2 or 3 other paintings for people. And right now I'm about 5 paintings behind. No, I'm about 8 paintings behind in commissions. And I don't do dogs. I don't do cats. So don't send me a picture of your cat or dog. I appreciate you guys being a part of my show, but I don't do cats or dogs. I'm terrible, okay? I'm a storyteller who likes to doodle, and I like to encourage other people to break out the paint. And some of you have been doing it in a major, major, major way, and I love it. I also love writing, and I love words. And so just for fun here, while I change a piece of paper, let me show you this and just talk about it as I do it. Here it is, boom, right here. This is my book. It's called Hey Roo, What's a Wheelbarrow? If you buy the book on Amazon, it will have it'll just come pretty fast, show up. But if you pay a few more bucks, this doesn't sound like one of those sales deals, huh? Because I have to pay postage both ways. And I think I got 2 more here. They're going to sell out again. And the publisher has only been getting me a few during this COVID time. So I get them pretty quick. I think they're 10 or 12 go out today, as a matter of fact. So, but if you get the book from me, I will open the book. You can get it by going to Roodoodles.com. It'll take you to an Etsy store. And those of you who have books, remember there is a download of a free audio of the book. Me and the grandkids reading the book. So make sure you read the story to your kids out loud if you can. And it's all in rhyming form. It's about this Roo who loads up a wheelbarrow, and he takes the peeps. Let me find my cursor here. He takes the peeps on a wheelbarrow ride around the farm. Let's go. They all climb up into the wheelbarrow, and talks about we might find some scratching bugs out behind the barn, and the grasshopper's always saying something. Hey, go easy on those bugs. And so, hey, Roo, what's a wheelbarrow? It comes from kids asking questions. Hey, Roo, what's a wheelbarrow? And he says, oh, that's a good question. Was, with a wheelbarrow, it's sort of a portable bathtub with a wheel. And then it's what you put all your tools in, and you loan it to the neighbor, and then you never see tools or the wheelbarrow again. And then it's for the garden, and it's a parade float. It's a stage at the poultry show. It's a shelter in a thunderstorm. It's a hammock. It's a farm boat. Anyway, I just thought, how many ways could you use it? This is one of my favorites right here. It's a fire pit, and then a drive-through diner. I love it when you're pushing at night. You go out. My grandkids were catching lightning bugs recently. It has a couple bees in there. My dad was a beekeeper, so that's why I'm drawn to bees. That's the story on the book, and I'm sticking to it. All right, so here's what I'm going to paint right now for you. Ready? And I've got a few more minutes of this show today. So thank you for your comments, and thank you for your questions. Let's see. Look at that. Neil Mallory, Judy and I got your card. Oh, thank you. Okay. Look at that. Chandlin, I hope I answered your question. Philip, I just found a few days ago. Love it. I can't stay till the end, but bye for now. Philip, hey, thanks for coming aboard. Okay. Welcome aboard, said the Lord, nor his kin clambered in. That's one of my great favorite books right there. Parker used to ask me to play the wheelbarrow game outside. Oh, thank you very much. I love that. You are a breath of fresh air, Darlene. Thank you. I take a lot of breaths. Yesterday, I figured out that I've talked over 350,000 words in the 95 days. So add to today. That's about 3 major novels worth. Okay, so here we go. This is a 7 Intergel liquid gel ink needlepoint pen. Needlepoint because it's not like a ballpoint. It's just got a little bitty roller down here, but a very fine tip. And this is one of the paintings that I started doing during this show. I think is the first time I did it. And it made me laugh. And so several of you have this now in your bar area. This one's going to be a little smaller on a bigger piece of paper. I think it is. So here he goes. He's going to be looking up like this. Man, this pen rockets across this paper. Okay, so he's coming down like this. He's got some feathers that stick out here. I'm going to draw him. Some of you know where I'm going with this. He's got a few feathers that are hanging out over the edge here. And there's the glass. He's coming down. I'm going to go into here. Going to do a feather there. Come down. He's going to turn out about the same size as the others. I thought he was going to be just a little smaller today, but he's not. This has a ball on it right here. Maybe a little side come in a little bit, a little straight. I'm going for a martini glass. Have I ever held a martini glass? Heavens no. Wouldn't even know what a martini was if I saw it. That's not true. I was out for dinner one night with a friend, and the guy said, "Oh, you must try," to the friends we were with, my wife and I. And he came over and he said, well, you must try our chocolate martini. And Kelly goes, "What the heck are you talking about? What's a chocolate martini?" And she tried it and said she liked it. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do now. I've got to paint. I changed pens. I went to a 5, a little thinner point. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go inside the glass, and I just want the definition of the ruse legs coming down like this. And they're going down into the glass like this. And this one maybe coming down has a knee bent up, and they're going up this way there. You got to figure out how, Neil, I think you mentioned that the other day. You got to figure out how the feet fit in the glass, okay? That's just part of making this work. Got some feathers pressed against right there. So there it is. So this rooster is down in the glass, and let's just make this happen. I can make it work before you're out of here. Sip of tea. Hey, Mickey, thank you. I hope you continue and get my own channel. You know what? Y'all are helping do that, and I might just do that. Thank you for hitting the likes. Thank you for hitting the little heart buttons and the thumbs up and loving it. If you hit those, that really helps Facebook help me do what I need to do. You can find some of these shows on YouTube by doing hashtag Roodoodles. That's ROODOODLES. Just think of the word roo and then doodles, and that's it, because I doodle. Not only is this a roodoodle as a noun, this is a roodoodle as a verb. And I told you I like words. And so as an adjective, I can roodoodleify most of my art. So I don't have to worry about being a fine artist. So what I do is I get away with a lot of things that other artists couldn't get away with. That's kind of sloppy or messy, but that's also part of my style. It's just this quick, fast-brained style that I love. This is a Lamy fountain pen. Thank you for sharing my show often. That is so helpful too. I love it when you guys do that, and that helps keep. And what it does is Facebook just goes, "Hey, what is this guy doing that he's getting several thousand people a day look at his site? Is this legal?" And so it really does help. So thank you very much. You're helping do that. All right. So look, this is a Lamy fountain pen. It has black liquid ink in it. You know, it's in a little. Look, I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to unscrew it. Whoops, I popped it out. There it is right there. That's the refill. It's not even the Lamy. It may be. Not even the Lamy refill. I think this is a Parker House. No, those are rolls. Maybe just Parker. Okay. All right. So put a little black in there because I like a little bit of that black shade coming down. And here's where you see a little bit of bleed. Take my bamboo brush, come in right here, and just get this pen to just bleed. There's no paint in my brush. You're seeing Payne's Gray take place by just the water that I'm adding in the painting itself. Okay? All right, let's get a little Joe's Red here, and let's go in and just try to stay close to in between the lines. It'd be a mistake if I stayed everywhere. Look at this. I didn't even fill in all the little voids. I left, as we say in Australia, KK, a holiday. Okay, or in England, we left a holiday in there. We left an open space, okay? We need some open spaces. And I'll try not to, Carol Hodges, I'll try not to leave you all sad. So we'll do whatever we do, okay? All right, but thank you for liking the shows. Just throwing those likes in there and comments and sharing it, all that helps. I know that sounds silly because it's within my control, but it also helps to, you know, takes a lot of time to put it together. You saw behind the scenes today. I've got camera here, I got a camera there, I got a light set up, I've got audio going into my computer, I got a piece of software that I bought to run the show. Um, I did that for a friend of mine to help him with a project in consulting. And I said, okay, I'll just start doing a live broadcast and see what the heck happens. And it's just been really, it's been my pleasure to serve in this way and help connect you guys. It really has. So I'm not kidding. You have made you made it worth me getting up every morning and thinking, what am I going to paint today? What would I sit for? Because I'm pretty fast brain. Okay, fast brain, for those of you who are just joining the show, is what my friend Dr. Jim Poole calls people who are ADD, ADHD. No, you're not, he says. You're just fast brain. That's how God made you. And one of these days, you're going to realize just how blessed you are by the fact that your brain works so fast. Isn't that a great way to look at it, especially for kids? When we sort of in school sometimes give kids labels, well, he needs to sit outside in the hallway because he's disrupting the class. Was I a class disruptor? Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? I went to Mr. Everett's office more times than you can count. Ash and I, my friend, my friend Ash has written a story about that, and that he and I are working on right now. Oh my gosh, I can't wait, Ash. Get off of if you're watching the show, Ash, get to work on the story. Okay, he's written a story, and you know what? It's a heavy story, man. It's about second grade in Miss Hutton's class, and I can't wait until you hear it and we produce it for you to hear. It's going to be a great story. It already is a great story. It's been fun to help him produce that story. So I'm just fast brain. Look at this. I'm putting the rooster's feet down in the glass. I think you can see what I'm doing here. I left those little areas. Am I worried about if I let the paint run in? No. This is underwater or under whatever this martini is. Maybe it's a grasshopper. Yeah, I heard there was a grasshopper martini. I don't know what it's made out of. I think most martinis have like vermouth or something in them. I don't even know what vermouth is. It sounds like something that Red Skelton would have come up with. Let's have vermouth. All right, so that's just how my brain works. All right, so this is going to be and I think we need a little bit. This is going to be a little bit of a blue glass today, just a little bit of an echo out here. Maybe a little bit of blue around the edges, just so we can see that there's some glass in there like this. So I think the only thing. Oh, here we go, right here, and this is what I usually do in my routine. I just put a little peep down here like this. I like these little peeps. I think they are really the anchor sometimes in my work. And I don't know what you're painting, but you need something that people connect to. And so the rooster is sort of like he's the farm bard. You know what the farm bard is? He's the one who stands on the roof and goes, "Look at me! I'm in charge. I'm the Corliss. I'm the storyteller. I'm the troubadour. I'm the voice of this property." And then yet we all know, what's that movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding? Is that the movie where she says, "You may be the head, but I'm the neck that turns the head"? So that's the way the hens and the peeps are in some of my stories. I love that turn on humor. It makes me laugh. All right, I think you can see that. Let's get a little green on this olive here, and let's touch it just like with this, just with a little bit of light green right there. Some of you see me paint this before. They all change just a little bit. Olives aren't completely green. I'm going to touch a little bit of Neil Mallory's Ugly Brown in there. Whoa, way too much. Let's go back and just touch that. There we go. Oh, look at that. See, I just touched it with that paper towel, and it gave me the perfect olive color. Little did he know that was going to work. Was that a plan? No, it was a pure luck. Some luck. Some I kind of knew it might happen, but you know what? It is what it is. All right, so let's go in here and get a little bit of this. I like doing this so much. It just makes me laugh. It makes me smile. Just found you this week. Refreshing. Suzette Patterson, thank you. I don't know where you're from, but thank you for finding me. And just think about this. I wasn't even lost. Isn't that a great part? Just showed up somewhere. Somebody shared it to you through a website and you went, I don't get it. What's this guy doing? How can this guy do an hour show and just doodle? What the heck? Don't you love it? And that way you should get great hope in what you're doing as an artist when you realize that you may have an art in these God-given tools right here and here and here that you don't even know you can share with people. You might can change someone's day today by just saying, you know what, life is short. Let's just be excited and live it and have some fun. Okay? All right. I have created thee, and you could write it for me if you wanted to. Routini. And I'm just going to sign it right here. Roodoodles. And an M for Michael, that's me, and a 20 is in there. And yes, Margie, wherever you are, I'm just going to give it, I'm going to use a CP47. There they are. Hey, Alex, you would know those in the film business, the CP47s, wouldn't you? Yeah, they're clothespins. But I have, you know what? I have a clothespin. Man, I have a million things I can show you. I have a clothespin. In fact, I'm going to make this one work right now for that. Look at this. Roodoodles. Can you see that? Roodoodles. I draw a little arrow and I turn it over. 100 days. Maybe I'll get that far. And this will be my pen. I've got a clothespin from every commercial I've worked on, from every film I've worked on, even from this film that I worked on. I keep this up here to remind me. Look at this. This is from, see this? This was Lake James, Hunt for Red October, 1989, December. Shot. I was part of the crew that did the last scene of the submarine going up the river. So I've been around that industry for a while. One day I might even get out the film. Remember the old comic Phyllis Diller? Remember her? I actually starred in a movie with Phyllis Diller. She turns into a creature and I play the creature. And then her dog is a poodle. It turns into a creature. I play the poodle. I'm on the cover of the DVD as a 9-foot poodle. Yeah, so you got to start somewhere, you know? You got to have fun in life. Life's way too short to just sit there and go, yeah, the news team says we're all going somewhere in something. You know, we're always in a bad ride going somewhere. Hey, be a part of the solution. All right, there it is. Here's what I painted today. I painted a Routini. I painted a Tad Gruff. And I think I painted something from the Louvre. If you wanted a landscape, you should have stayed outside. I think this needs a little bit of a touch-up right here. I'm just going to take a little bit of water and go in that and let it bleed a little bit. I like how they hang those up, and I think this frame needs some little detail in it here. You know, it's a big fancy frame for a fried egg. We'll just do some spots and dots. Okay, and I think this egg has a couple spots in it too. Maybe a little salt and pepper on there. Okay. All right. So, hey, thank you for joining my show. It's after 10 o'clock already. Holy smokes. And thank you for liking the show. I love seeing all that and your comments. A Roo channel. Yeah, we'll come up with the Roo channel. Same tune, next Rune. All right. Saturday. Okay, Terry Tardy. I'm going to paint Saturday. That's tomorrow, isn't it? Yes, I think I'm going to do that. Elizabeth Sable, you said, yeah, that's you. Isn't it funny how that works out? Wow, and there's so many comments. I'm going to jump on it. Lee Packus, I appreciate you jumping on board, buddy. Got another book coming out to Jamie today. And Tamberly, I use American Journey paints. American Journey, they come in tubes like this, and I know the show's going long, but I'll answer that. They're from Cheap Joe's Art Stuff. I really like that company. There's a lot of companies that I like in art, but they're kind of family owned and operated, and I appreciate who they are. They're out of Boone, North Carolina. All right. Margaret, my singer, thank you. Glad you were here. I just missed you for a while. And it's midnight in Australia, so Rab and KK, thanks for having you both from Australia today. I know that's, You know what? I say hello to Ohio a lot and DeBerry, Texas, but I like for people to jump up in different time zones. And hey, Alex Mebin's book, if you're into really cool photography, is called Signs of Santa Monica, a retrospect of outdoor artistry. Did you see the word artistry, outdoor artistry? He shot some fantastic. By the way, this one I looked at yesterday, Lara's Restaurant. I love the ironwork here, and I'm just drawn to ironwork. I'm drawn to the fire. I love the grapes. I love the cast grapes, but I love the hand scrolled pieces too, because I've certainly learned to do that over the years. This is a cool book. I'm excited about reading it all. Uh, some of the signs are just fantastic. Okay, there's Michael's liquor. Yeah, well, today I painted it. All right. Blessings, people. I'm out of here like a herd of turtles. That's what's taking so long today to get out of here. Here we go. I'll finish on this note.